Every year, the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce hosts their annual Key to the Township Awards Dinner. Awards are presented for community excellence to deserving community leaders, and this year was no different in the level of excellence displayed. Civic Center TV presents the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce 9th Annual Key to the Township Awards.
Okay, can we first of all give a hand to the steel drum band that was playing the Gratitude? Thank you. That was a great entertainment for us for tonight. I'd like to thank you, first of all, for everyone being here. It's great to be able to honor all of our community people, business people that have given so much to the community. Now it's like our time to say thank you to them and show our appreciation for everything that they've done. Today, at our 9th annual Key of the Township Award Dinner, we're going to do that, and I'd like to say what a great success this has been today, and as you can tell by the turnout, we're thankful for everyone that is here. These people that are here today with us, the ones we are honoring, have done so much for the community, so much for the business community, so much for the community to help improve our lives, and we are thankful for them and everything that they've done for us. So as I said earlier, this is our time now that we're going to show our appreciation to them. But first of all, before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge a few of our dignitaries that are here with us to help us in the celebration for all that they have done for us, of these community members have done for us and business people have done for us. We have Senator Mike Cowell with us today. Clint Kesto is also here with us today, Representative Kesto. From the West Bloomfield Police Department, Chief Patton. John Scott. And John's in the back there. Michelle Economou Ureste. There's Michelle. Kathy Shaughnessy. I don't know if I saw her. Oh, she did come. I didn't see her. And our treasurer, Terry Weingarten. There she is. And as we're clapping our hands, I just want to have you keep clapping and keep moving, a little bit more energy, and get some food down and your aerobics for today. But we have a great, I should say, the personal here, my great gratitude is extended to our planning committee who planned this great event, and it has been a wonderful turnout. This is the best turnout that we have had, I believe, in most of our years here as the chamber, so it's been great. Our planning committee did great. Our chair this year was Kelly Taylor with here we go, Orchard Mall. There. And also the committee consisted of Rick Anthony. Come on, I told you need to exercise now. Let's get the aerobics going, get moving. Tim Ferris. Shane Plisko, which is also with Plantera. And the centerpieces on your table were donated by Plantera with Shane here. Carla Schwartz. Carla's in the back. And we have Emily Totcher with 12 Oaks, who is not with us today. The flu is getting the best of her. And the one person who basically oversaw everything and coordinated it all was our executive director, Suzanne Levine, who's in the back table. And also people that have made this event successful was our sponsors. We thank you for your support and for all the contributions that you have made for us tonight. Our Key to the Township Award Dinner sponsor is our table right in front here, the Heartland Healthcare System, Marvin and Betty Danto, and the Heartland Healthcare System. And they also were gracious enough to stuff what we call our swag bags. The swag bags are $20 a piece, so you get the bag. And then afterwards, there's an auction for a number of different items that we have, gift certificates from the local businesses, different Tiger tickets and things like that. People will be walking around throughout the night selling them. They are $20 And so you get the bag for $20, but you also have the chance to win different prizes that have been donated by different local businesses. And then also we have our other sponsors that have helped us with this, put on this program, and they are in the back of your book, towards the back of your book. So please look at them and use them as you shop, because we do believe in shopping local and supporting all our local businesses. So please look and feel free to go shopping. I know Mother's Day passed, but Father's Day is coming up, so we can remember the fathers and the men in our life. Right now I'd like to introduce Andrea Polito, and she is from Heartland, and they are, our, as I mentioned before, they are key sponsors for tonight, and we do appreciate all that Heartland has done for us today.
Thank you. I wrote a speech tonight, so that means that I'm probably just going to bomb it terribly. But I will try to go as well as I can. So again, I'm Andrea Palladino. We are a proud sponsor of this evening. I am also a board member of the West Bloomfield Chamber. My title at Heartland Healthcare Centers is Manager of Market Development. So I help manage 9 of the Heartland facilities in the Detroit metro area. We have a total of 13 facilities in the Detroit metro area, but 280 facilities nationwide. So we are a very large organization, but very proud to have 2 centers here in the West Bloomfield community to help serve our community members. For those of you that aren't familiar with Heartland, you know, a lot of times when you or your loved one needs rehabilitation after a stay in the hospital, a lot of times you're handed a list and said, you know, go check out these places. Our job is to help you make that best decision to get your loved ones to a place where they're going to receive the rehabilitation and the nursing care that they need in order to get home. Our ultimate goal is to help get our patients back to their lives. We like to say the best way home is through our doors. So we encourage everybody to come and visit one of our centers. Just to give you a little bit of background about our facilities, Heartland West Bloomfield and Marvin and Betty Danto Healthcare Center, we have employees that are nurses, dietitians, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, social workers, recreational therapists, everybody there that's going to be able to work with each individual patient on their goals to help get them back to the community. We want to create the best possible outcome for that patient, whether it's returning to their home or to their next level of care, or potentially long-term care if that's required as well. This is more for patients that are recovering from an orthopedic injury or surgery, cardiac issues, stroke care, chronic disease management, wound care, pulmonary issues, respiratory therapy, diabetes management, IV therapy, ambulation and gait training, and much, much more. So all of our centers offer these things, but our 2 centers that are represented here tonight, Heartland West Bloomfield and Marvin and Betty Danto Healthcare Center, have their own unique situations as well about them. So I'd just like to touch base on those for just a brief moment. Heartland West Bloomfield, whether you know it or not, has been serving the community now for more than 30 years. So we have served patients and rehabilitated them and got them back to their home setting or to their next level of care. Within the last 3 years, the center has gone through a $7 million renovation, where we renovated the complete downstairs, where we have almost all private rooms that are the largest private rooms in the West Bloomfield market, as well as 2 rehabilitation gyms to provide to our patients in both the upstairs and the downstairs setting. We have also decided with the shortened hospital stays to bring on specialists into our centers. We are seeing sicker and sicker patients, and we want to be able to provide them the best care possible. So we have brought on a cardiologist, a pulmonologist, and a wound care specialist into our centers. We've also increased our technology to help with those patients with products such as Sabo and Synchrony, which help with stroke patients and also patients that have been affected by a disorder that may affect their speech or swallowing. So with these additional things, we would love for anybody to come in and see them for yourself, because it's hard for me to explain that in 5 minutes, how beneficial they can be, and it's never too soon to be prepared. And then we go to Marvin and Betty Danto Healthcare Center. They offer the same services as Heartland West Bloomfield, and they have been a part of our Heartland healthcare systems since 1996. They are located on the Jewish Community Campus, directly across from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. So we have a lot of access to the hospital in case of those emergencies, and we're very close to that for those patients. Danto has also recently, in the last 3 years, undergone a renovation where we renovated several rooms as well as the rehabilitation gym, which is over 3,000 square feet to provide patients with the best rehab possible. Marvin and Betty Danto Healthcare Center does offer long-term and short-term care for patients. Our trained team of nurses and therapists have helped countless patients return back to their lives. Marvin and Betty Danto is also the only true kosher center in the West Bloomfield area having a kosher kitchen. And we also have 2 rabbis that are on staff to help patients with their spiritual recovery as well as their physical recovery. This is a truly unique and special building. No other building in our 280 buildings are like Marvin and Betty Danto Healthcare Center, so we encourage you to come and visit. So that is what I have about Heartland Healthcare Centers, so thank you for giving me time to speak about our centers. I'm going to let everybody get started with dinner, and shortly here we'll get started with the program. But thank you for your time this evening, and I'm really excited to hear all of our nominees. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello! We're going to all circle back around, get ready for our nominees tonight for the awards. I hope everybody has enjoyed their dinner. Yeah? All right, good. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Guy Gordon from Local 4 News. Guy has been a veteran news anchor and a staple of Detroit broadcast journalism for 30 years. He happily joined Local 4 News in 2004 after spending more than 2 decades with another station. He has been seen every day hosting Live in the D and Local 4's web-exclusive newscast at noon. Guy has received numerous awards, including 8 Emmy Awards, a MAB Award for Investigative Reporting, a National Association of Broadcasters Award for Outstanding Documentary, and several awards for coverage of breaking news. His biggest source of pride is his 3 children with wife Gail. When not anchoring the news, you can usually find Guy with a golf club or a tennis racket in hand. Same here. Guy demonstrates his commitment to the people who live and work in Metro Detroit. His annual charity golf outing, which I'm told started here at Shenandoah Country Club, the Guy Gordon Classic for Kids, has raised more than $1.5 million for Oakland Family Services. So please join me in welcoming Guy Gordon to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. That looks pretty good out there unless you consider it's about a 40-degree wind chill, doesn't it? I mean, it's a lovely view. And when I say that I'm happy to be here, I mean that genuinely, because my wife goaded me into taking bridge lessons that happen on Tuesday nights. So I am truly happy to be here. I thought, because you're a business group, and I've spent 30 years covering the business scene in Detroit, that I'd share with you some tales from the beat. When I started, Coleman Young was mayor. It was the mid-'80s. And whatever passed for progress, beginning in 1984, was a government-funded mirage of progress. It was artificial. It was driven by UDAGs, HUD grants. If you put Renaissance before whatever you were doing, you usually got money from Uncle Sam. In the past 6 months, I think I've covered no less than 20 legitimate ribbon cuttings, investment announcements, startups, the genesis of true business health in the city of Detroit. It's not artificial, and it's not a mirage. There are some government dollars involved in small packages, but it is market-driven, demand-fueled, and it's real. Yesterday I was at Sakti on Fort Street. They announced a $31 million development. They're taking Southwestern High School, which was really the soul of that neighborhood, and they're going to redevelop it into a training center. They're going to put a casting business in the back of it. And here's the wild thing. You want to talk about the earth is flat? We've got an Indian automotive supplier investing $30 million in Detroit and taking 70 jobs from China and moving back to the United States to make knuckle castings for cars. So that's what I mean when it says it's real. We can compete. Why? Currency advantages, low energy costs, a much stronger engineering presence and footprint than any place else in the nation. And as this gentleman got up, global chairman of this global automotive company, he said, we have looked globally, and the United States is the place to do manufacturing today. Wow, was that cool to hear. A few days before, I was at one of the most infamous flop houses in Detroit, which is now the Milner Hotel. For those of you that know, you know the Milner Hotel? You pass by it when you're going to Ford Field, and you usually cross to the other side of the street when you're going by, right? It is now the Ashley, which makes it sound so hoity-toity. They are now these wonderful mid-income condos in Detroit. Where did the money come from? Japan. You know you've earned your stripes when foreign investors are willing to put big money into things that take a lot of vision to be able to see, like the Milner Hotel. Brush Park, one of the most beautiful connections to the Gilded Age and the storied past of Detroit. 30 acres to the north, goes up for an RFP in the next few weeks. 8 acres west of the Brewster Wheeler projects. Dan Gilbert just came in with a group of partners. They're going to turn that into some wonderful condominiums and multifamily housing. The Brewster Wheeler Center, so long, really the heartbeat of that area in terms of the athletes in the neighborhood, is going to come back as a really cool restaurant and community center, and I could go on and on. It is a new day in Detroit, and it's really cool to watch. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have our problems. The core of the city, this you know, they always say nature abhors a vacuum. We have defied physics for the last 50 years. But those vacuums are beginning to fill in. Tonight, there was supposed to be a historic commission meeting to try to clear the last hurdle for the new hockey arena. That didn't happen. I'm still trying to find out why. Nobody can tell me why, but apparently the Illich folks decided that they weren't quite ready. Funny, they asked for it to be fast-tracked. So I don't know why there was a delay tonight. But a lot of things happening, and some of it is now trickling out to the neighborhoods like Southwest Detroit yesterday. We still have some incredibly intractable social problems and economic problems to overcome, but things are looking up. And there is such a thing as a trickle-down economy, and hopefully some of that will begin trickling into the neighborhoods where we really need to put a new beachhead. But we have seen things with the mayor's new anti-blight programs, where some neighborhoods that have been on the precipice of tipping over into becoming the next blighted neighborhood, Marygrove, the University District, we're starting to see people come in with real money and rehabbing homes. And you hear other things from the people that have been living there for a few years. They said, yeah, we had some code enforcement officers come through from the city, and they came through, of all things, on a holiday, which, that was interesting. And they came in and they told folks, you cut the grass, you move the abandoned car, or you're going to be cited. This is a real city now. We're going to behave like a real city. So clean up your act. We'll help clean up the rest of the city. We're going to make it a good neighborhood again. And a funny thing happened. The people didn't resent it. They said, yeah, I'm putting wheels on that car out back and I'm dragging it to the dump because there's really no use for it. Folks are getting it, and they're modifying their behavior, and that's the beginning to becoming a city with broad shoulders again. So good news to report on the front in the city of Detroit. Now, if I can find my glasses, let's honor some people in West Bloomfield, shall we? By the way, this is a little bit like a homecoming because I was a West Bloomfield resident when I moved here from Grand Rapids 30 years ago. Lived in the condos at the corner of Maple and Farmington. And that worked really well until I met a girl from Birmingham who worked at the Tech Center in Warren. And then that commute just wasn't going to work anymore. And we're still together 30 years later, which is the real miracle. Now, if I could have some help in giving out these distinguished awards, you've already been introduced to them, but could Senator Mike Kowal, Representative Clint Kesto, and Commissioner John Scott please come forward and help us honor our honorees this evening. And we should point out that the senator and the representative, they did something pretty cool today. They gave up their summer vacation. The Michigan legislature will be working throughout the months of June, July, and August, which they assure me is a good thing. We know there's a lot of work to be done, and they're going to be working hard on it. So, gentlemen, we appreciate this. Our first recipient for the evening. Nancy Kaufman has been a speech-language pathologist for 35 years, and the Kaufman's Children's Center has grown to include over 40 staff members now, providing the finest in speech, language, occupational therapy, sensory integration, social skills, autism treatment programs, and a full-service pediatric clinic for children with special needs. It's a worldwide leader in treatment of childhood apraxia of speech. Nancy welcomes approximately 100 families a year from almost every state and other countries for week-long programs. Got her bachelor's at MSU, her master's from Wayne, has been awarded a graduate apprenticeship. She's the recipient of the Michigan Speech Language Hearing Association's 2011 Distinguished Service Award, as well as the 2010 Outstanding Alumni Award from MSU's College of Communication Arts and Sciences. She and husband Joel reside in West Bloomfield, raised their 3 children here, Shelby, Carly, and Jacob, products of West Bloomfield's public school system. Please give a warm welcome to our Business Leader of the Year, Nancy Kaufman.
Oh, you got my stuff. Yeah, now I was going to make my joke, I am standing, but now you can tell that I am standing. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a second. I wrote my speech. I have been so blessed with an amazing, loving family. Joel Kaufman, attorney, and our children, Shelby, Carly, and Jacob, who all attended West Bloomfield Public Schools. My siblings, my in-laws, and my good friends. And could have never imagined that my career as a speech and language pathologist would also be so gratifying in so many ways. From taking a chance and opening up on my own in 1992 in a rental space in West Bloomfield with an answering machine and notepads with carbon paper, remember the carbon paper, for billing, to our own 11,000 square foot building and 40 of the most talented, brilliant, and stimulating people I could have ever dreamed to work with daily. I am so grateful. The KCC grew from our beginnings of speech and language pathology only to occupational therapy, sensory integration, to our expansion into the adolescent population, and to our current applied behavioral analysis verbal behavior programs for those children with autism spectrum disorders and other developmental challenges. It is the talent, enthusiasm, perseverance, and passion of each and every member of the KCC that has given us an international reputation as a quality therapy center for children. So I would like to thank my family and friends for their loving support and the representatives of the KCC who are here to celebrate with me today. My career path led me to become an expert in childhood apraxia of speech, a neurological speech sound disorder whereby children struggle to produce and combine the consonants and vowels that are needed to form words in order to speak. Having learned from the children themselves and putting together my knowledge from what is known about adults who have maybe suffered an illness, accident, or injury and have lost the ability to speak, from my university learning and from my hospital internships, the Kaufman Speech to Language Protocol, the KSLP, was born. Families now travel from around the U.S. and from other countries, such as Ireland, Sweden, Switzerland, China, Egypt, and of course Canada, and others, for their children to learn to speak via the KSLP techniques and bring back recorded sessions and training to their home team of professionals. While far from home, it is a great source of pride to help our families navigate the city of West Bloomfield, staying at our hotels, apartments, and condominiums. One such place, our across-the-street neighbor, Chimney Hill Apartments. Our KCC families have had the pleasure of taking advantage of generous discounts from Toyology, learning about and participating at the Friendship Circle, shopping at the unique boutiques up and down Orchard Lake Road, and even to include my favorite salon, Mario Max. Shout out, okay. While their children were in therapy, sometimes they have placed their other children at the JCC day camps and could always take a break from therapy to relax at Drake Park and the beautiful public lake accesses. They have enjoyed the variety of unique restaurants of diverse ethnicities and even having numerous choices of West Bloomfield exercise classes and fitness centers. Our out-of-state and international families have become enthusiastic ambassadors of West Bloomfield, Michigan. I would like to thank Diane Nancaro, Director of Adolescent Programs at the KCC, for her thoughtful nomination of me, and the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce for honoring me with the Community Excellence Business Person of the Year Award with this lovely celebration. Thank you so very much. I'm so proud. Thank you, Doc.
Congratulations, Nancy. Deb and Ken Macon have a long history of volunteer and governance leadership roles, both working in the same organization but also separately. Across the greater West Bloomfield area and the region, they've lived in the community for over 30 years. I have an adult son, Kenneth Jr. Ken is president of the West Bloomfield Township Library Board. Deb has served as a member of the school board, the Township Board. She's a member of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission. If you could sabotage some of those things so they would watch broadcast again, that would be okay. Both work to support local initiatives that enhance community quality of life, and their list of community activism is very long. So do refer to the wonderful books that you have at your table for more details on their commitment to the community, because it is lengthy. Please welcome a dynamic duo, Kenneth and Deborah Macon, this year's recipients of the Spirit of the Community Award.
We are humbled by your generosity and outpouring of recognition and appreciation.
Okay, we congratulate all of the other honorees. I want to thank Guy Gordon for that introduction. We thank the Chamber for making this special moment and award possible. And we thank the Greater West Bloomfield community for being welcoming and inclusive. While we have a lot of friends here in the audience, I'd like to acknowledge my fellow library board members and the library director. Just wave. Okay. It is a true pleasure. It is a true pleasure to work with the board and the director to support the best library in the country.
Over 31 years ago, when searching for a new community, the realtor drove me past the Walnut Lake Road Civic Center Plaza property. At that time, it was barren, no buildings, and I was sold. If we moved here to this very diverse community with excellent schools, we could be among those that help shape this community's future, and we have, and are very proud of it. We learned from our families that helping out is not optional. It is expected, and we love doing so. Making a difference is what makes our hearts sing. Whether as Ken, one of the pioneers of recycling in the township, or as the weekend warrior at the library, and more. As one of the community cheerleaders, I have a lot of fun championing diversity and inclusion and being part of every positive initiative that enhances the quality of life for communities, families, institutions, and businesses. There are so many great success stories all around us, and I just love making sure that I get to share them with as many people as who will listen. We know you're all volunteering and very active in the community, and we have an ask for you. Won't you look for one more way to help out in this very, very fine community? And our friends at Civic Center TV make that really easy. Do visit civiccentertv.com/events and find an activity that makes your heart sing. We'll look for you there. Thank you all so very, very much. It's such an honor.
This story, and again, it goes on longer in your books, and I invite you to read it because it is uniquely American. Nadal Garmo grew up in a family of 8 in Baghdad, immigrated to the United States in 1980, and upon arriving began working as a cashier in a grocery store, attending college at Wayne State University, part of their pharmacy program. A very short 5 years later, she opened her own pharmacy, Nadal Save More Pharmacy. In 2003, determined to ease the pain and suffering of the people in Iraq, she began sending medicine, money, and badly needed supplies to just a few families in Iraq trying to make a difference. She realized that it wasn't nearly enough. So in 2007, she founded the One World Medical Mission, a nonprofit dedicated to providing medicine, food, and clothing to needy children and families in war zones and other areas. In addition, she also volunteered at the nonprofit known as the World Medical Relief, which involved personally delivering containers to the needy. She became their ambassador of health for Iraq, one of the things that has been the greatest joys of her life and her greatest blessing. As we all know, ISIS has taken control of many areas of Iraq, most notably the Christian areas of Mosul. And as they caused the Yazidi genocide, Nidal spent 3 months there personally, and you can imagine the personal peril of this, delivering packages to those in need and working to help internal displaced persons and refugees. It's probably one of the more undercovered stories, and one of those that we can't seem to get quite enough attention from the White House to the plight of the Christians there. She has won over 20 certificates and awards for her service, too numerous to mention. She is the president of One World Medical Mission. Please welcome your Community Excellence for Health and Wellness recipient, Nidal Garmo.
First, I know I look like I'm so well dressed up, but and I know Charity Lady should be looking like that picture. My girlfriend did my hair for free. My other girlfriend gave me my dress at last minute. I just flew from Los Angeles, and she gave me her suit. So I want to tell you the truth. Because I went to Los Angeles, and I went to shop, and I said, that's too expensive. I'd rather to feed 1,000 families rather than buy me a dress. I swear I did that. Anyway, I want to thank you all. Thank you, Susan Levin, for calling me and give me the best surprise for nominating me for this beautiful award. And first, I want to thank God for choosing me for this mission, because I found real happiness of saving lives and helping people all over. It's not only Iraq. Iraq is my country, because I started this from 2004, and I traveled so far 21 times. But when I see people, sometimes you don't have to do much for these people. You know, if you just smile to their faces that are in pain. A lot of people lost their family members. Of course, I helped the Iraqi, Syrian. I went to Honduras, to Africa. But mainly, I've been to Iraq and Jordan a lot of times, to the refugee camps, to the homes. But the last few years, especially what happened to the Christian and Yazidis, and a lot of Muslim also that have been affected by ISIS, is beyond imaginations. For women to be raped 30, 40 times each day, for people to commit suicide because they have no way to go anywhere, for women to witness their brothers and husband to be beheaded. I don't know how can we look at these faces and just, what can we do? How can we help them? For people have no money to survive. No, not even, they took away everything from them. Of course, I'll go there, and I personally sponsor 14 containers, but my success was with the community, the Chaldean community, the Iraqi community in Michigan, and also the American people here, the friends from every single religion and color, that I do get along with everybody. This is what's mean. That's the best thing. We show to the world we are in America. We are in a country that can help. And that's different. People have the wrong image about us. We make sure that we are all united to help the other countries that need help. And that's why I have a big social media, that people see the pictures and videos that we are helping. And also, these people are getting used to us. You know, it's like building bridges, and they calling me sometimes on Viper. They call me in the middle of the night, whether they are sick, whether they are poor. I never say no. Believe it or not, you know, we can always deliver. But I want to special thank few people or few organizations in my life. Without World Medical Mission, Mr. George Sampson, the president, that believed in me since he saw me, the president of, he saw me 2004. The first minute I got to the building in Detroit, I started crying when I saw all these supplies. And he looked at me, and I was crying, really like a child. He said, I believe in you. And since then, we sponsored many surgical and medical supplies. And I want to thank my patients that are in Michigan, in my pharmacy. They help me. Even the patients that are on the welfare, they help. And I want to thank a very special doctor, Dr. Nabil Toma, for supporting my business out of any doctor. And God bless him and his wife. And I want to thank my friends, and I want to thank West Bloomfield Chambers of Commerce for believing we can make a difference. Every one of us really can make a difference. And any country that in need, whether it's internal or any country, because there's so much going on in the world, we can save lives. Thank you very much.
Luckiest guys in the world. You know, when you come to these events, you never know. That's very sweet. You never know who your dinner partner is going to be. And that's one of the best parts of doing community events like this is you meet the most fascinating people, and the next recipient is one of those. And I can't even begin to wrap my head around this. He lost his first child to leukemia at the age of 2 years. He could have been defeated by it, but he used it as motivation to do something incredibly special, and that is he has used his gifts to help other families deal with this kind of heartache. But more importantly, he's helped children deal with the challenges of cancer and life-threatening illnesses. Talking about Rabbi Elimelech Goldberg. Rabbi G to his friends. When the girls wouldn't pass me the hummus at our table, I knew he had my back because he's got a black belt in Korean, a Choi Kwang Do. Did I say that correctly? His commitment to easing the pain of children with cancer, together with his dream of supporting healing through the empowerment of the martial arts, has been an amazingly powerful combination that culminated in the founding of Kids Kicking Cancer in June of 1999. He has an appointment as a clinical assistant professor in pediatrics at Wayne State University School of Medicine. His experience in the martial arts, but also as a spiritual leader, he understands people. And also as a parent who suffered something very deeply life-altering. He's helped other parents and other children face this insidious disease and has provided them with remarkable insights and developed insights of his own into issues facing children and families with the diagnosis of cancer. The first Kids Kicking Cancer class was held with 12 students at Children's Hospital of Michigan back in '99. Since, it's grown to provide martial arts therapy to over 2,500 children in too many states to mention, and even internationally. He just got back from Israel and was telling me about the success he's had there. He's the recipient of the nation's highest award in community public health, as well as other innumerable awards, most recently named as a 2014 Top 10 Hero from CNN. Rabbi G and his wife Ruthie have lived in Southfield for the last 30 years. Besides their first child, who was the inspiration for Kids Kicking Cancer, they have 2 married children and 8 grandchildren. It is my honor to present to you a very engaging dinner partner and a man who has made a difference in so many lives, Rabbi Elimelech Goldberg. Your Community Excellence for Leadership Award winner this evening.
Gentleman walks into a cardiologist's office, and he says, "Sir, what's the problem?" "I think I'm a moth." He says, "You think you're a moth?" He says, "Yeah, I think I'm a moth." "So you should probably see a psychiatrist, not a cardiologist." He said, "Yeah, I know." So why did you come in here?" "The light was on." The honor of being the honor of being and representing the children of Kids Kicking Cancer, because they're the real leaders. But it's humbling to follow and precede the ladies and gentlemen that you've already met and will soon meet. And congratulations to you all and to this august chamber that has recognized these individuals. There's an organization, it's a group called the Optimists. I don't know if you've heard about them. There's probably a group called the Pessimists. Those are optimists with experience. They make a holiday party for our kids. Children from West Bloomfield and all of the local areas get together. And I noticed 2.5 years ago, one of our children who had not yet turned 11 being wheeled to the front by his twin sister, Brittany. And this beautiful African-American child with the most amazing smile asked for the microphone in a loud voice, says, "Hi, my name's Bernard." Everybody stopped. There were about 400 people in the room. And I want to thank you, Optimists, because you made a great party for us, and I want to thank Kids Kicking Cancer, as you guys are our family. But I want to teach everybody here what they teach us in Kids Kicking Cancer, because every one of our children, young and old, become teachers. That's our mantra: power, peace, purpose. You could bring in this amazing light, push out pain and fear and anger, and you ask the thousands of children that we've worked with, what's your purpose? And they all yell out, to teach the world. So little Bernard has gotten everyone's attention. He said, no matter what you're facing in your life, you could breathe in the light and push out the darkness. And he demonstrates how you lift up your body with that breath, and then you push out anger, fear, pain, and stress. And then they gave me the microphone. It was a little hard to talk, because every one of us knew that Bernard's mother ran away when he was a little baby. His dad died when he's 8 years old. His uncle died when he was 9. And that was the year he was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor that was slowly stealing any movement from his body. With the most beautiful smile, he said, remember, no matter what you face in your life, you can breathe in the light and push out the darkness. So I had to do a breath myself before I could respond. And I just said to the group that was hosting our event, I want you to understand that Bernard just defined optimism, but the definition of optimism does not mean that everything is going to be great. It means that we could respond to everything with greatness. And so I thank you for the award for leadership, but the real leaders of Kids Kicking Cancer are as young as 3 years old. And you watch these children breathe in the light and blow out the darkness. They teach the world. As Guy mentioned, this 4 nights ago, I was working with a group of children at Bambino Gesù Hospital. We have a program at the Vatican Children's Hospital. I thought it was cool that an Orthodox rabbi needed permission from the Pope's office to teach an Eastern meditative technique to Vatican children. The next night, I was working with a group of Jewish martial arts and martial arts therapists, some of them with the long curls, those, really religious guys, and a group of Arab Bedouins and residents of East Jerusalem, Arabs and Jews. working together to teach children in pain that they're the real teachers. That no matter what we face in our lives, we can bring in the light and blow out the darkness. As our last awardee described, places in the world of darkness. And there are many. Optimism means that we can all reflect inside of ourselves and to find that light. And with the beauty of these children all over the globe, we can learn from the real leaders. No matter what we face, we can illuminate the planet. Thank you so much for this extraordinary honor.
It's been a great night already, hasn't it? Man. Well, it keeps getting even better. Mesa Rajo was born in 1979 in Damascus, Syria, the oldest of two brothers and one sister. Family moved to the USA in 1981. Her father was a veterinarian and wanted to pursue his PhD. Spent a lot of time in Atlanta, Georgia, until she was 10, at which time she returned to Syria. She graduated from OMS University in 2004 and is now a celebrated architect. 2005, got married, proud mother of 3. I'm going to not do these names as well as they should be done. Taima, Ima, and Alma, ranging in ages from 3 to 9. She is the center director and owner of the tutoring center here in West Bloomfield. She started this new venture because she wanted to develop something new and unique that would give back to the community and help her girls attain a better education. The center is unique in the way that they tutor children. It uses what they call the rotational approach to learning, by which children change their stations and materials 3 times within the hour. She cites being a franchisee of the center as one of the best things to ever happen to her. She is your Entrepreneur of the Year. Please welcome Mesa Rajo.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so nervous, so please excuse me. I'm not good at public speeches. This is my first time, though. If your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you're a leader. And that's by John Adams. I really didn't fully understand what this quote meant until I got the opportunity to open the tutoring center here in West Bloomfield. And I got the chance to see the growth and the impact that we have on our children's life. Putting a smile on that child's face and seeing the excitement in their eyes, letting us know, hey, I got this, is priceless. Having that impact in our children's life was and will always be the greatest gift that this job could ever offer. Investing our time and money in our children's education is an investment in a better future for our country. And our mission in the tutoring center is to help the students and families in our community. Working with these kids on a daily basis and being a mother of 3 myself, Taima, Yumna, and Elma, helped me realize a very important issue that goes on in our schools on a daily basis, which is bullying. So I started to educate myself more about this issue. And I had the chance to give some lectures to parents on how to deal with this problem. Tips on how to open lines of communication with our kids, not sitting them down to lecture them about it and tell them what's right and what's wrong. Better to teach them how to stand up for themselves and for others as well. It is very important for us to make them be able to come to us and to tell us, no matter what they're going through, their problems. Cyberbullying was another issue that came up, and it's a very dangerous problem as well, and we need to address it and try to explain to our kids how to deal with that as well. With all this technology, hiding behind a screen and saying anything you want is so easy. Our prime purpose in the Tutoring Center is to help the kids in our community reach their full potential. So we reached out to all the schools in the West Bloomfield area, offering a free scholarship for our summer program, and for those students who are struggling academically but could not afford it financially. I opened the center a little over a year ago, and it had a very great impact on my life. But I would have not been standing here in front of you today if it wasn't for the great staff members in my center and all my tutors. For them, I would always be grateful. My husband, who supported me, stood by me, encouraged me every step of the way. Thank you, my love. I would have never done it without you. To my 3 little angels, I wanted to thank you for your patience. And I know that this job changed our lifestyle dramatically for you, but I wanted you to know that I did it all because of you. I wanted to live my life leading by example. I wanted to be a good role model for you. I wanted you to be proud of me. And I wanted you to know we as women have the power to do it all. We are mothers, cooks, drivers, housekeepers, teachers, nurses with minimum to no medical experience whatsoever, but we can do it all. If you have a dream, please don't let anything or anyone stand in front of your dream. Put your heart, your mind, and your soul into it, and it will become your reality. I want to thank a very special lady, Lisa and Susan. Thank you so much for this nomination. It means the world to me, and I want to thank the Greater Chamber of West Bloomfield for this honor. I highly appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Before we move to our final recipient, a shameless entreaty to you. I now host a show called Live in the D. And our brilliant visionary general manager at Local 4, a lady named Marla Drutz, who some of you may know, got the wild idea a couple of years ago that, we've got a great newsroom. They do the job they're supposed to do. There's great responsibility with it. We got to sometimes tell the bad stuff. But wouldn't it be great if just for 1 hour of the day, instead of kicking the city, we just told stories about the good stuff? The stories that too often come by the assignment desk and we just go, God, that's a great story, but we just don't have the time to tell it because we've got the responsibility to do some of the other stuff. So on Live in the D, 60 minutes a day, 5 days a week, all we do is tell great stories like you've heard here this evening from these recipients that are doing life-changing work. So if you know some people like that that deserve recognition, or if you just know somebody in the community that's doing a cool thing, if there's an startup business that's really unique, just something that's praiseworthy, I can't guarantee that we'll do the story, but we want to hear about it. Because those are the kind of stories we like to tell on Live in the D. And if you haven't seen the show, it's televised Prozac. It's a great little happy pill that we do at 11 o'clock every day, and we hope you'll join us for that. So you can find me, Guy G, at WDIV.com. Let us know about the great things happening in this community and others. Now to our final recipient of the year. This may be a simpler way of putting it. This is the Chamber's MVP Award. This is a newly created award, the executive director's pick for the Chamber member that exemplifies dedication to the Chamber above and beyond the call of duty. Alan G. LeDuc received his BA from Michigan State University and his Master's of Science in Taxation from Walsh College. He has more than 30 years of experience in the public accounting field, dealing with individual, corporate, nonprofit, fiduciary partnerships, trusts, and estates concerning tax and accounting attestation services, including tax and financial prep, forensic audits, estate tax audits, all the fun, exciting, cool stuff. But very necessary. Alan serves individual and business clients in the wholesale, retail, mortgage banking, retail construction, medical pension, and profit-sharing, nonprofit manufacturing and service industries. He also, and this is what is the important part, has been the current treasurer and former president of the Optimist Club of West Bloomfield, the former treasurer and president of the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, and was an elected official as trustee for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. He resides in Bloomfield Hills with his wife, Barbara, and has 2 children. Your Chamber Member of the Year, Alan G. Leduc. Well, the good news for all of you is that I don't like to talk very much, at least not as much as my wife, Barbara. So, well, that makes us a good match. You know, she talks, I listen. Anyways, it was about 20 plus years ago, when I walked into the chamber office, and the director at the time, Dorothy Friedel, welcomed me with open arms, just as Suzanne does today. And I was fortunate enough to be involved in the chamber, to be introduced to many people, such as Jeff Colley, Sherry Robertson, people like Herman Franco, Jetty Hood, some old names out there. And I was fortunate enough to develop really good relationships with people in this community that still last today. I see all your faces out there, and I still feel very close, even though I just moved next door. The chamber led me to the library, where I was fortunate enough to serve 6 years, especially during the renovation of the library, to make that one of the best libraries in the country. We're all very proud of it. See Clara shaking her head over there. The chamber led me to developing relationships with the Optimist Club of West Bloomfield. That's a service organization for youth in the community. It's an international organization, and I developed even more relationships there. I still serve as treasurer there, and it's a pleasure, and I enjoy all the work I can do in the community, and it's really the chamber I should be thanking for helping me to develop the skills and knowledge that I have today, not the other way around. So thank you, chamber. Appreciate it very much.
And can we have one final round of applause for all of our recipients this evening? Also, our thanks to Commissioner Scott, Representative Kesto, and Senator Mike Kowal. I can tell you that something really interesting must have happened in Lansing, because his phone is about to burst into flame. It's been buzzing all evening long, so we'll let you get back to work. Yeah. Just, if it's the media and something big happened, just remember who your MC is, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you live in a fabulous community here in West Bloomfield, and you are lucky to have each other, and you've done a great job in moving this community forward. Thank you so much for honoring these people this evening that are doing such a fabulous job. Take care, have a wonderful night, and thank you very much for supporting the chamber.
Thank you, Guy, for doing a wonderful job for us. We really appreciate you being here today. And I also, just take a few minutes. We have our raffle going on. Our swag bags, as Sue said, is $20. At the end, you'll get a raffle ticket, and then at the end, we will raffle off the prizes that are there, a lot of gift certificates and products from our local businesses. So Tim will go around and John will go around. If you want to raise your hand if you need a ticket, we'll just give about 5 minutes, and then we'll start the raffle. But let me say thank you, first of all, for everyone that's here and providing us with your warmth, and also your support for the people that are here. As Guy said, it's cold outside, but as I just mentioned, I think the warmth that's in the hearts of the people that gave so much was shown today for all of us. So we gave them a round of applause, and we do appreciate that all that has been done for the community and for everyone. Thank you for our recipients.